New Macan GTS is the Porsche EV that doesn't forget the driver. The latest Macan Electric promises the most engaging drive yet for enthusiasts, assuming they can overlook the whole electric thing. Macan Electric GTS arrives with sharper handling and distinctive sporty design. Producing 563 horsepower, it ranks just below the turbo as the second strongest Macan. It comes with a GTS-specific suspension setup and plenty of performance goods. Porsche may be scaling back its goal of making 80% of its lineup electric by 2030, but it's hardly abandoning the charge. Instead, the brand is refining its approach, making sure its EV range mirrors the diversity of its combustion models, borrowing some of those familiar gas-era badges for the transition. Now, after the base Macan Electric, the 4, the 4S, and the Turbo, it's the GTS's turn to join the grid. True to form, the GTS carries a more driver-focused brief, mixing sharper handling and distinct visual cues while sitting just beneath the Turbo in outright power. From the outside, the GTS takes its front bumper from the Turbo, then adds black trim to the lower intakes and matching accents around the side inlets, complemented by tinted LED matrix headlights. A subtle set of updates follows: sharper side skirts, a bespoke rear diffuser, and a lip extension on the active rear spoiler, all finished in black. The SUV stands on 21-inch anthracite grey alloys, with 22-inch RS Spider design wheels available for those who prefer more presence. Porsche's paint catalog includes 15 standard and optional hues, among them chalk, carmine red, and Lugano blue, plus an additional 60 shades through Porsche exclusive manufacture. The more aggressive front and rear fascias of the GTS are part of the Sport design package that will become available in all trims of the Macan Electric starting summer 2026. Even so, those versions will not get the GTS-specific contrasting black accents. Inside, the cabin is upholstered in racetex and black leather. Furthermore, buyers have the option to match the interior stitching to the exterior color if they chose one of the carmine red, slate gray neo, and Lugano blue shades. Finally, the GTS logo is present on the steering wheel, the adaptive 18-way sports seats, and the graphics of the digital cockpit. As with all 2026 MY versions of the Macan Electric, the GTS benefits from a bunch of upgrades including a digital key, new park assist functions, an AI-assisted voice pilot, improved in-car gaming options, and an increased towing capacity of 5,500 pounds, 2,495 kilograms. In terms of power, the GTS slots right between the 4S and the turbo trims of the Macan Electric. The dual-motor setup produces 509 horsepower, 380 kilowatts/517 horsepower, in standard form and up to 563 horsepower, 420 kilowatts/571 horsepower, with 704 ft-lbs, 955 Nm, of torque in overboost mode. This output comes from sharing the turbo's rear electric motor and transmission ratio. With launch control engaged, 0 to 100 km per hour, 0 to 62 miles per hour, arrives in 3.6 seconds, just half a second behind the turbo. Top speed reaches 155 miles per hour, 250 km per hour. Porsche says the electric GTS can cover a quarter mile in 12 seconds flat, trailing the turbo by 0.6. Rear-wheel steering remains optional, but the GTS comes standard with a limited slip differential at the rear, the Sport Chrono package, and the Porsche Torque Vectoring Plus system. More importantly, the GTS's air suspension receives its own calibration, with distinct damper and roll bar tuning and a lower stance. It also introduces 2 exclusive sound profiles tied to the Sport and Sport Plus drive modes. As with the rest of the lineup, the SUV gets a 100 kWh battery pack and can complete a 10 to 80% charge in 21 minutes when connected to a fast station. Furthermore, the Taycan-sourced track endurance mode cools down the battery, allowing noticeably longer spirited drives. The 2026 Macan GTS Electric is open for orders now, with first deliveries slated for spring. Pricing starts at $103,000, or around $6,500 less than the range-topping turbo electric, yet nearly $10,000 more than the gas-powered Macan GTS.